From Lake Tahoe. I got my computer here, sorry. As promised, I said I'd go live for a little while. In case anybody had any questions, I'm in the middle of finishing a course, and that's why I really haven't been posting a ton of videos. Excuse me. Doing all of this has been quite a learning experience for me, so it's been great. And you all have been just fantastic and so supportive, and your comments and your suggestions, they are so appreciated. And I'm learning a lot. I guess I just wanted to come on here quick and kind of just hang out for a bit. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot them. I've never done this before. I'm just on my phone. So I know there's like a comment section. And it looks like they show up here right on the screen. Okay, I sound like an old guy probably. So one of the really big things that I wanted to just do, like I said, is some folks had some questions, and I thought I would just kind of go through them. I did my last video. It resonated with a bunch of people, just things I would have done differently as a musician. And I had asked if there's anything that resonated, or if there's anything that people might just want to know about. So one of the questions I was asked was from Parker, I think maybe. And he asked me, how do you teach effectively? That's kind of a loaded question. Well, I think there's a few ways to teach effectively. The first way, and this is only in my experience, and I think from the teachers that I've had, how do you teach effectively? Well, you got to be a good listener. You got to really try to hear what your students are asking you, and really try to find what would work for what they need. Instead of shoehorning, instead of shoehorning, if that's a word, like trying to force information that may not suit them at that time. And I used to do that when I first started teaching, because you get information that's helped you and you want to pass it along. But sometimes that's not what the student needs. So being a good listener, being really flexible, being creative. I think you teach effectively by really understanding what the student is lacking and what they should do next. I think that's really important. And know that every student is going to be different. You can't teach the same way for every student. And you have to really try to be really aware of what they need at any given moment. I think that's how you're an effective teacher. I think the other thing about being an effective teacher, and that's one of the main reasons I'm starting this business and this channel and creating courses, is I have not found it effective to just give a student all the information, just like pile up the notebooks, every permutation, every chord voicing, every inversion of every single possibility. No, don't think that you have to show them everything. Show them the things that they need to know how to play. They got to know chords, like specific chords. Show them the voicings that people play. Show them important solos that need to be learned. It's like trimming the fat. I'm kind of rambling here. I'm trying to find a cognizant way of saying this. Instead of showing everything, show them the things that they will actually play. There's a reason there are certain things that you hear every musician play. It's because that's kind of the foundation. So don't feel like you have to show a student everything. Show them the essential things. Otherwise, they're just going to get overwhelmed. What we got here? Oh, there's a comment. Oh, wow, my first comment ever on a YouTube live stream. This is my first live stream, so, and it's very low tech. By the way, this is my Airbnb in Tahoe. I'm on vacation this week in Lake Tahoe, and I'm squeezing this in while I'm here. So there's the about effective teaching, I guess. Let's see. I'm new. I'm just starting my journey with jazz piano. Where should I start? Speaking about your videos. Oh, yes, I replied to this. I think just for anybody, if in terms of my videos, I think check out the video about thirds and sevenths, and I would check out the 27 steps to work on seventh chord vocabulary. I think that those are two good places to start. Know your key signatures, major and relative minor. Know your major, harmonic minor, and melodic minor scales. Know your diminished scales. Know your whole tone scales. Know those 5 scales, and know the 6 diminished or bebop scales. If you can get those right away, you're gonna really have a good foundation. Let's see. Karen DeVitt, 6649. Okay, you asked me good ways to work on pulse, feel, rhythm. That's a huge one. And there's so many ways you can go about it. In terms of working on feel and pulse, I really think it's, I've talked about this before. Practice with a metronome. You can do this a few ways. You can have the metronome very like micro, like quarter note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can practice that way. Some people say to practice on 2 and 4, but I think a really great way to work on pulse and rhythm is working on your inner clock, strengthening your inner clock. And how do you do that? Rather than having smaller beat delineations like quarter notes, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. I would do this. I would make that into a whole note. So 1 click per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. What that does, you have to work on your inner clock because you're going to find that you're not going to really match up with that whole note pulse starting out because you're going to either be rushing or dragging. Time is not it's not just going to be just like you're on a grid. Otherwise, you sound like a robot. But to work on inner pulse, inner time, to really strengthen your inner clock, that bigger beat pulse will help you with that. So I would start maybe if a quarter note is too much, a whole note is too much, try a half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even that's too small. I would do a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just find that whole note click for whatever you're working on. Then, if you even want to get more adventurous, make it a double whole note for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. That really helps with your inner clock. If you want to work on real, like, get really a lot tighter with your metronomic even time, something you can try to do is slow it way down, and like, let's say this is the pulse. Make that like the 8th note pulse. So be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you can really break it down and tighten things up that way. Let's see here. Someone had asked me about how to practice effectively. And this is a big one. It's a loaded question. But I think the best way to practice is what I call awareness practice. It seems easy to do, but it's hard because we go on autopilot so easy. Rather than practice plans and like really grand goals, like I said in the video, I think monthly practice goals are most effective. Okay, for me, and I found it works with my when I've taught privately too. Rather than daily goals, monthly goals. The monthly goals can shape what you do throughout the month. So you can make a plan for the day, but make it only like maybe one or two things instead of like I used to do, be like 8 things that I'm going to do, and I'd only get to one or two of them. Practicing doesn't need to be like checking off lists. That gets really boring. I think the best way to practice is start playing something that you're trying to work on, whatever it is. And the moment you can't execute something, you know exactly what to practice. It's this idea of kind of being your own best teacher. So if you're playing, I don't know, let's say you're just playing a standard, and let's say you're playing the melody with your right hand and some voicings with your left hand, and by the third measure, you mess something up on the melody, or you stumble, you get to it, and then you stop because you can't keep it going. Well, right there, you've seen that you're having trouble getting from one place to the next. You know exactly what to practice. You practice going from that chord to that chord, and you just work on that. And the idea here is every time you stop to work on something, you're going to slowly build up fluency. So it's like take that little thing out that you can't do, work on it on its own, put it back in, keep going. The next thing that you try that you can't do, take it away, work on it, put it back in. The minute you can't do something, that is telling you what you need to work on. It's also telling you that you obviously want to know how to play it because you tried to play it. So having awareness practice is really important. I think if you have a choice between like working on an exercise or transcribing something, I would tell you to transcribe something because learning language is so important. Whether it be a full solo, whether it be 6 notes, you should try to transcribe something on a regular basis, okay? So being your own best teacher, I think that's really important. And I think it's, I mean, if I'm going to make it simple, start playing something. The minute you can't play it, that's what you need to work on. Practice in the context of tunes. Like I said in the video, work on tunes. Standard tunes are just incredible things to use as vehicles for practice because the harmony is functional and you can really, I mean, you can learn a lot by playing those old standard tunes. Okay, let's see here. I'm not doing great here, but I'm on vacation. Somebody emailed me, can you include tips on voicing of chord extensions in general? Yes, I can. In fact, I have a bunch of videos coming up about that, and my course is going to be dealing with that too in the context of 251s. So yes, I will definitely do that. I think I'm not going to go on too much longer here just because, like I said, I am on vacation. I'm just looking, see if there's any more things that I could talk about here. One thing, I'll go back to the practicing, just so I can try to be a little more clear. I'm not saying that having practice goals are not a good thing. That's very important. I think Chick Corea had a really good thing that I've always liked. He said, try to have a win. What would a win be? So I think I'm not saying not having, to not have goals for a practice session, but your goals should be maybe informed by a larger goal for the month. So an example of a win for a practice session could be, I want to be able to get through a chorus of this tune that I'm working on without stopping. That could be a win. So there's your goal. Rather than, I'm going to learn all 12, I'm going to practice all my major scales and all 12 keys every day, or I'm going to, you know, that's okay to do, but you don't have to do everything like that all at once every day. I used to spend so much time warming up that I wouldn't end up practicing. So yes, you need to work on technique, but technique could be done in little chunks. Maybe pick 2 keys a day that you're going to warm up on scales instead of all 12. And then every day just pick 2 different keys and then just keep cycling that. You know, for example, would be, I'm going to warm up with all my A scales and my D scales. Next day I'm going to work on B flat and G, whatever it is. But the idea is you don't have to do everything all at once every day. You can break it up throughout the days. And do not think that 10 minutes of practice isn't worth it. There's science behind this. If you practice for 10 minutes a day for 6 months, as opposed to 3 hours, every 4 days, 5 times a month for 6 months, you're going to grow more practicing 10 minutes a day every day for 6 months. Consistency is so important for effective practice. Consistency, so important. I guess, let's see if there's anything else here. Well, I'll obviously do more live stuff, a little more formal, but I at least just wanted to come on here. 1, because I said that I would, and 2, I thought I'd just try this live thing. Some things coming up from me in terms of Whalen Jazz Lessons. I have a course on how to voice 2-5-1s from root position all the way to 2-handed voicings in major and minor. I think it's gonna be really cool. That's coming out on May 26th. And there will be more stuff about that. And then I'll have regular videos showing up starting next week again. So thanks for letting me ramble. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you soon.